Welcome Vibes Kenya, it's your boy Thaddeus Murai and I'm back. And today I am with a very well-respected man. He's a lawyer. He goes by the name of...
My name is Kerry Okemwa Mabeya Mogutsu. Kerry Okemwa Mabeya Mogutsu.
It's a lot of names, sir.
Oh yeah, we don't have many people who have got 4 names continuous.
No,
in fact, I ought to have been Kerry Francis, but there wasn't space in my birth certificate.
Those are a lot of names, my friend.
Oh yeah. Named after Kerry Francis, the great mathematician. Yeah.
And from what I hear, you are quite the genius yourself. You speak five languages? Kisi? Kikuyu?
Let me get it right. You're right. Inchenomugusi. In Kikisi, that means Niede Mogithi. In Jaluo, they say Anja Moa Kisi, Marokau. Now, when you come to Kiluya, you'll say Inzimbe Umugusi.
Yay! I'm not going to try and say that. And I hear you also speak Hindi.
Hamara naam Kerry Mogusu. Hamara naam Kerry Mogusu.
Very impressive, very impressive. I'm shocked.
Not really.
You know, not many people can speak more than 3 languages, you know?
I don't know. I wonder why.
Lack of exposure, I guess. I don't know.
Well, sometimes you can get the exposure, but you lack the interest. You probably never get to know, even to say jambo in your own mother tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
And also experience and the exposure, as you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really adds on to.
Yeah.
To the, I guess it's a talent.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I can do also some art. I can draw a challenge in person.
Or you can draw as well.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Multi-talented, eh?
I think so.
All right. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
You're a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer by profession.
By profession.
Yeah. And part of the background that I have, like especially Hindi and Marathi language, is because I pursued my bachelor's degree in India. So I had all the opportunity.
How did you end up in India? How did you find yourself there?
Well, in pursuit of studies.
Okay.
Yeah, my parents decided that go out there, study there, so that you can get exposure.
Yeah.
And I had, at that point in time, had a disadvantage.
Being?
In India, we were subjected to learning that language. Because your landlord is talking to you Hindi, the shopwala, so we call them, the shopkeeper talking to you in Hindi.
Yeah.
The taxi, rickshaw man, tuk-tuk, those rickshaws, talking
Hindi.
to you in Hindi.
So you had no other
choice.
option, yeah.
No choice.
You had to learn.
Yeah.
And before we jump
when you want to katia some Hindi trick, you must also be able to know the basic languages of putting across your message.
Yeah, play the ball right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also this other advantage of being open-minded, open the brain to take in everything that is positive. Yeah.
And tell me about your background growing up, where you're from.
I come from Kisi.
Yes.
Gucha County. Kisi County, Gucha sub-county. Yeah, Igorera sub-location. It's a humble place, that is not so conspicuous. You'll never get to hear so much about the place, but it has produced the likes of me and others. Yeah.
A great place.
Oh yeah, it's a great place. Evergreen, what we call God's birthroom, because as we are talking now, I was told that it's drizzling and raining.
Yeah.
And that is a place where we give food to the rest of Kenya. We don't get donations.
Yeah, you give.
The rest of Kenya gets food from Kisi.
Yeah.
And they're good people. Because when I move around, everybody asks me, from Kisi, Wakisi, mko wengi, everywhere. Ukienda matatu industry, Kisi, go to business, Wakisi. And also there is an element of temperament. But I've never seen I've never been told that I'm temperamental.
Yeah.
But however, that must occur when the need arises.
Yeah, at some
so,
point.
I grew up in the Rift Valley, Nakuru. Then I went to Naivasha Primary Boarding School. That time our system, we read up to Standard 7. Then after that, I went to Western Province, Musingu High School. Nikaenda nikakutana na Waluya huko Waidaho na Waisuha. Ikabidi nikajua mirembe mirai. Inzima nyuluya lo kubolera mundu shindushiriya nyanga kumanya from me. And it was fun.
Yeah.
Because I feel happy when Muluya friends meet me, especially the alumni from school, and they address me in the mother tongue.
Yeah.
That I feel good.
You had a great time there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we also, like where I was staying in college back in India, Twiki na ikamba ingi muno kumamboni mumesie masaku mumesie kitui twika uwe ni nena kikamba chago dosa ukika nama kewo is water in Kikamba. Kewo. Yeah. And basically that diversification comes through association.
Yes.
Through association.
Yeah.
What usually matters, don't ever limit yourself, or even your children, or even your siblings. When you limit, like we used to have, when we are talking Kikuyu, you'll find somebody tell you, ongea lugha ya taifa. Kwa nini mnaongea lugha ya mama? That is limiting.
So
talk it so that somebody else will pick it.
Yeah.
I used to listen to my Kamba friends when we were there in college. I used to live with most of them. You find that the Kisii man, there's 3 Mkambas, 2 Mjaluos, and I never ever got to tell people that ongea lugha ya taifa. Because what will happen, I will hear you talk like kwa chane ngakwea wosio. Then I register it. Following morning I'll be asking you like kuna kitu mlisema kwa chane ngakwea. What
does
that
mean? Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I put it into my vocabulary. I could sit with Luo friends unasikia nasema anigi problem moro kae anadwaro anyisi. What does that mean? Sounds so musical. Then when I come to ask anadwaro anyisi, what does that mean? That I want to translate it, I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
Nyingi nga, what is your name? Those are issues and details you get at no cost.
Yeah.
But fertilizing knowledge and vocabulary. Basically, that is how it got about. And essentially, I was lucky I grew up in an environment where I diversified interest. This time round, I'm with this community. The other time round, I'm with other community. And essentially, I never ever discriminate.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I know that I'll always learn something new.
Yeah. And from what I can tell is that you're a man who likes to learn new things or understand more and more.
Absolutely.
As life goes on.
Absolutely.
And you're a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer.
And I did some research and I found out that your father was a magistrate.
Oh, yes.
So did him being a magistrate have an influence on you choosing a career?
If I may talk more information about that.
Yes, go ahead.
My grandfather was what we used to call wale wazee wa kijiji who used to make decisions, arbitrators.
Okay, yes.
Them days. So I think my father took it from there. And before I went to study law in India, I was engaged, I was admitted to the Faculty of Journalism, University of Nairobi. That time we had problems. Journalists were being beaten left, right, and center because of the single party politics those days. University closures were rampant. You wake up one fine morning, you see riots in the streets, and my dad, in his prowess and wisdom, told me, no, become a journalist, you'll see hell.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
Go study law. I can afford it.
Yeah.
Go study law. Instead of UN, University of Nairobi, go study law in India and get that exposure as well. Yes. That is how it goes.
And did you enjoy studying law?
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
Lovely. Yeah. Studying law gets to make you know so much about people, so much about crime, so much about you study law of torts, you get to know why specific contracts must be done and must be in place. You study criminal psychology and come to know why certain people behave in certain criminalistic manners and ways. Yeah. Because in the Faculty of Law, you still study psychology, child psychology.
One of the requirements, right?
Yeah, it's part of the syllabus. Yeah. It's a wide exposure. Medical jurisprudence. I had a very interesting study in medical jurisprudence. You know, because somebody, you know, poisons someone and then strangles, hangs. No, wait.
You poison and still strangle?
Yeah, wow. So that it looks like this person committed suicide.
Right.
So when we go to medical jurisprudence, toxicology, we come to see witnessing post-mortems, realizing that this is the reason why you can tell that this person died out of strangulation and not poisoning.
Yeah.
This is why toxicology is the cause of death and not the strangulation.
Yeah.
This person probably died out of other bodily issues, pressure. Musipige bibi yake ati ndio she's the one who caused it. So the study of law really brought me into a lot of exposure, and in practical life it becomes very, very important. That is why we deal with people in the public relations arrangement.
And how long was the course that you studied?
I studied my bachelor's of law. I started with bachelor's of social legislation as a first degree.
Yes.
Then all combined, 3 more years, and I acquired my LLB, 5 years. Then I came back to the Kenya School of Law.
Yeah.
That time it was at along Valley Road, where we have now the School of Dental Studies. Got a diploma in law. Then after that, I got admitted into the role of advocates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the degree you obtained in India, of course it allows you to work in India, but does it also allow you to work in Kenya as a lawyer, or even outside of Kenya, anywhere in the world? Does it allow you to work anywhere?
Yeah, the Bachelor's of Laws degree is recognized in all Commonwealth countries. In India itself, here in Kenya, and even I can go practice in South Africa, subject to the bar regulations. Not bars in the bar over there.
Yeah.
Look at my documents, they'll say, yeah, you qualify.
Yeah. I'm asking because different countries have different laws and regulations. So how does it actually allow you to work in a different country?
Like I said, the law that we've studied is bracketed under the Commonwealth law.
Okay.
That is why you go and study in UK, you'll find the same syllabi is the one you'll study in India.
Okay.
You go to Zimbabwe, University of Harare, you find it. I've even known people who have studied law from the RSA from the RSA, and they come and practice law, save for one or two regulations
Yeah.
that you must conform to bar regulations. Like we came, everybody, even graduates from the United Kingdom, had to go the mandatory Kenya School of Law, up to date, for purposes of acquiring the degree, the diploma in law.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, like I can tell you, when we were there in India, we were subjected to study Hindi. Huh? Because it occupied a quarter of the study program.
Yeah.
No choice. You learn it.
And were you taught in English or Hindi?
English.
Okay.
English. 80% English. Because most of the language you'll find interpretation goes to Hindi for purposes of the natives.
Yes.
Yeah. You're talking about a college where you are only 15 Kenyans, foreigners, out of a whole college of 1,000 and more.
Wow. Tell me, your top cases in your law career.
Well, let me talk about the cases that I got to learn from that other side. They are numerous and very interesting.
From India or
Yeah, from India.
All right.
Yeah, very numerous cases. We wouldn't have time to go through them, but most of the most interesting cases was a case that we had as a case study, where when the domestic airline, Indian Airlines, brought in A300 Airbus, the international airline is Air India. So this pilot decides to land the Airbus.
It's a big plane, eh?
Yeah, A300.
Yeah.
In an airport known as Udaipur in Uttar Pradesh. That airport was not prescribed for such a big aircraft.
Yeah.
It's like landing it at the Wilson Airport in Nairobi.
Very small airport.
Yeah. And basically what was the issue was, the pilot and the co-pilot were like, me I'm military trained and me I'm commercially trained.
Or it was an argument between two pilots.
Yeah. So the A300 have got 300 passengers.
Yeah.
So this guy tells the co-pilot that, you look, me I'm military trained and you are commercial. Made an emergency landing, all the signals, and landed it in Udaipur Airport.
Yeah.
And then taxied and took off. Told him, look, me I can do it. You said you can't. And the matter was taken over legally.
Yeah.
The pilot was sacked.
The co-pilot or
the pilot who landed it there, because he wanted to prove that this aircraft should not be landing here. You've done a mistake.
Yeah.
And it was a Hawks emergency.
Wow.
All in the name of trying to show that, come on, I can do it, you can't do it.
Levels.
So the guy went to court. The Supreme Court of India reinstated this pilot. On the grounds, the councils argued that this man has gone a long way to prove that in the event of an emergency, he can save these 300 passengers, as against the other one who was a coward, who could feared that, no, we are not supposed to. One of very interesting cases.
Sounds like a very interesting one.
Yeah. Well, here in Kenya, I've dealt. The worst case that I did is when I went for a court order that kept a body in the mortuary for 11 months, that's a year, while the parties were litigating and fighting in court. I was acting for one of the parties. And tukasumbuana, then finally I told them, look here, leave this body, go bury. There's no property in a dead body. This is 1 year old down the road. You'll be enjoying your Christmas, and your mother, it was a lady, and your mother is lying in the morgue.
Yeah.
So there are numerous interesting cases here and there, and they come on. that kind of thing.
And as we wrap it up, tell me about the culture clash that you experienced in India.
Oh my.
Where to begin?
I almost got killed in the college canteen when I tried to talk to a lady who was very sharp. We were sharing notes, and in the canteen, she's like, yeah, there's something you explained so well in the lecture hall. Kindly let me have some notes. Oh, the boys were all over me. Stones and culture, you know our culture, you don't do this. Talk to our ladies, culture. Because in the lecture hall,
Yeah,
that column is for ladies, this column is for,
the gents.
yeah. You're not supposed even to interact. Not even, in fact, what we call indecent staring. You look at an Indian girl in college, slightly excessively, that is a culture clash.
Wow.
Then those people are 90% vegetarians, right? And some of us need to kulea kanyama, kukula nyama. So you have to go all the way where they're Muslims, because they're the ones who slaughter. You know?
Cows and
Yeah. Like you go all the way from this place to Nairobi, you know where there are those butcheries. You stay in a house where their culture is inextricably intertwined with their religion. You must stay in a house where the landlord will be able to give you permission to cook beef, meat, you know. So those were some of the challenges that were there, and we had to live with them.
it was a tough time.
Huh?
It was a tough time.
Tough time, and here you're busy studying, you're pursuing what you came for that
Yeah.
place, and come back here. No job opportunities. You're strictly depending on, input from your parent, your sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another place that we could easily go and do some side kicks. No, strictly what remittance you're getting from your parent or your sponsor. You finish and feel like you take the most immediate flight back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and many others.
Yeah.
Social, like language. You find that 80% of the people you're dealing with are talking in that language. Your own landlord will ask you, "Oh, Africa is in Kenya."
Very.
Yeah, and then carelessness. You find them what we call sandas. Sandas means squatting with a small mkebe. In the morning, you find them in the street because they don't have public toilet facilities enough, you know.
Yeah.
So in the entire neighborhood in the morning,
It's out.
they've got that habit of, in the very first thing in the morning, they squat there and they defecate.
Do their business.
Yeah, and one will even tell you that mkebe is there, the water that he wants to be sufficient with it.
Yeah.
And takes a cigarette and call cigarette. Machis hena. Machis means matchbox. Do you have machis hena? Then you wonder, this person is squatting, is doing his stuff, and is calling me
For
to give matchbox.
Yeah.
So some of those issues are the challenges we used to look at and say, well, let me get out of this place,
Head back home.
get back home.
All right. I
Yes.
want to thank you for
Welcome.
sparing us your time.
All right.
We've come to the end of the show.
Yeah.
It's been a very interesting time having you here.
Yeah.
Interesting talks. And I just want to sign off and say thank you, Kenya. Thank you for watching. As usual, you know what it is. It's Vibes Kenya. I'm your boy, Thaddeus Murai, with Wakili,
Kerry Magusu,
Kerry Mugusu.
it's been a pleasure too,
Thank you, sir.
having time for giving me the opportunity to reminiscent. We were talking about quite a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we sign off, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and turn that notification bell on. Peace out.